warning approved vapors. It's a call from Enigma. I'm just basically recording this to say hello. I did record another video a couple of nights ago when I first joined the group with my little dog Alfie. I discussed about how I got my IPV and basically had set it up as a booby trap for him. Unfortunately, he has now disappeared. And the last I heard, he's gone up to Herakles and he's speaking to Sagali about getting a mains powered mod without any safety features. So it's probably the last thing. I also got told in these videos that branding, we shouldn't really be allowed. So obviously, following the rules there. Anyway. In all seriousness, just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Paul from Enigma Vapours. I basically run Enigma Vapours. We produce juice. We produce in particular a range that you may have heard of, which is the Enigma Cloud Juice for drip use. And yeah, so I just want to say hello really. I'll be posting up a few videos over the next few days about a few different things that I've managed to get hold of. And yeah, I just wanted to say a big hello to everyone. I'm not going to keep this video going for too long, but I'll cover a few things. So firstly, I want to say that a big hello to all vendors out there. I'm sure I've used Aviva in the past. We don't vend hardware as such. We basically just vend juice, but we do retail to vendors throughout the UK. Now, we'll move on to next. That noise there. Unfortunately, it's Henry the Hoover. He just has a tendency to stay on all the time. You can't shut them up. So yeah, jokes aside, anyway, we're getting a bit crap, aren't they, really? So let's get on with it. Okay, so basically, what I'm going to do in this video is just introduce a few little things that I'll be posting up over the next few days. I want to say a big shout out to some of the juice makers out there first. Basically, I think some people have the conception that, misconception that basically all juice makers hate each other's guts and we're sort of like, I don't know, trying to poison each other's brands and stuff like that. It's not the case at all. I've got some very, very good friends in the juice industry. UK juice wise, Paul Curtis, Zeus Juice. I speak to him regularly. We keep in touch. I mean, generally juice makers, what we try and do is we try and keep on top of things because obviously regulations are changing all the time. I try and make sure that we're getting safe products out there that are compliant with the regulations that come in. Yeah, we're all in touch with each other. So yeah, Zeus Juice, rhubarb and custard, one of my favourites, and I'm running that at the moment in, got that many sub-tanks, which sub-ohm tanks, I'll be talking about them later, but yeah, I've got them in the Uwell crown tank. I've got that in that at the moment. So that's running at 100 watts on a unit that has just come into the UK. I've been waiting for this for a while because my IPV3 was probably my favourite regulated mod. Is the IPV3 LI. I skipped the IPV4 for a few reasons, and I've got to say that I'm very satisfied that I waited for this one. So 100 watts vape with some rhubarb and custard. And that's on the Uwell crown tank, which I'll be talking about in another video. Another juice that I'm vaping a lot of at the moment is we make our own custard, which is obviously the best. Also, basically another another juice maker I'm a fan of is a guy called Mike Turner who runs Isle of Custard, based in Isle of Wight. So I've got here Old Salt's Custard. Got about just enough left there. Again, I am running that in a Herakles, which again is another tank I'll talk about, and that's running at 70 watts. Nice and smooth. It's lovely flavour. I mean, I like my American juice as well. Element Vapes, I mean, everyone's heard of them. I went down, was at Vape Jam and tried out their juices down there. Really impressed. I've got to say, for fruit juices, some of the best out there. Currently, one of my favourites is obviously Pink Lemonade. We've heard of that one. I like Water Chill Melon, and I also vape a bit of freshly squeezed orange. In fact, I mix the orange with the Pink Lemonade. I really like that. So that's another one of my favourites, and that's an 80% VG mix on that one as well. So works perfectly in some of these newer sub-ohm tanks, and it obviously works in drippers as well. A bit of background to myself, I started vaping 18 months ago. I was smoking 20-25 a day for 17 years. Tried e-cigarettes about 5 years ago, and just didn't work for me. Just didn't have that throat hit. Went on to Nicorette spray and chewing gum and patches, and had the most weird nightmares in the world. I mean, even worse than being attacked by a dog in the middle of the night. They were absolutely horrendous. But obviously, I can't say this. I can't say that vaping is a way to quit smoking. For me, it works. Yeah, and sort of it's become a hobby, and then obviously through that, it's become a business for me. So it's something that I really enjoy, and I enjoy basically passing on a lot of knowledge that I've gained through a lot of groups, got a lot of friends, and it's the whole vape community is really something that is growing very strong, and I think it's something that will continue to grow stronger. And I think we do need to basically stick together and sort of work out things with the government really next year and see how we can press on with things. But anyway, so that's my background. I've also worked as a chemist for quite a few years, and I ended up being a lab manager basically at the age of, I think it's 27. Yes, I've worked in the food and pharma industry. So basically, the mixing sort of side of the science behind the juice making, mixing side is something that basically I'm pretty clued up on. And I'm not a chef at the end of the day. So yeah, I've mixed some horrible flavors in the past and stuff like that. It does take a while to get good blends, but in general, sort of it's just one of those things. I encourage DIY mixing. I always say to people, if you're going to go down that route, then just ask one of us guys, and we'll give you some tips. We're not going to give you the recipes away, but we will give you some tips on which flavourings to generally sort of use and percentages and whatever. But I have been asked for a few recipes before, and sorry guys, can't do that. So yeah, that's my background anyway. What else I'm going to talk about? Oh yeah, that was on to American juices. So Element Vapes. There's let me think. Vape Jam, tried Cutwood Sauce. I like Unicorn Milk. That's an amazing juice. I've never actually tried any Suicide Bunny, and that's something that I know I've missed out on. So it's something I'm going to have to give a go on. Another company that impressed me was the Mad Alchemist. There is one juice, however, that I wasn't aware of exactly how potent it is. It's called Dragon's Breath. I don't know if any of you have tried it, but if any of you have, let me know what your thoughts are on that, because I dripped that a 100-watt, hot bill basically. I nearly died. I looked at it, first inhale, nice sort of like cherry sort of flavour coming through. Exhale, oh my god, like a massive kick of cinnamon, like proper hot cinnamon as well. And I quite like the cinnamon juices, but that is pretty intense. We'll go down the other scale actually. We'll just talk about the worst juice. Well, not the worst juice, I've put it. The most interesting juice I've come across, and it's a well-known challenge on a few boards. In fact, at Vape Jam, we actually went up to the guys who make it, which is Alchemy. It's called Enter the Dragon. We tried to get them to do their own Enter the Dragon challenge. They refused. I'm not surprised. Basically, the challenge is, and I'm quite happy to pass this on to people around the group, is basically you get your dripper and you add some of this in, and you basically take a massive inhale and see how many inhales you can take. There are some people who seem to be immune to it, but I'm not saying anything more. But you have to video it when you do it as well. So, right. So we've talked a bit about juice there. I'll talk very, very briefly about my juice. I don't want, this is not a promo video for us. Okay, I'm out there. It's all a bit of a joke. Basically, Cloud Range. It's a 90% VG mix. It is a very thick liquid. It will work in definitely some of the newer tanks out there, the Herakles, the Uwell, I think what else as well, Arctic. basically everything that we produce, because I'm a passionate vaper and most of my team are as well, and we've got a couple of people who sponsor down south. Basically, we run everything in drippers. I mean, the aimed at drippers, obviously with 90% VG for the clouds, but they will run in a lot of these newer tanks out. I think, in my opinion, Kanga and Aspire are sort of. I hope there's no one from Kanga and Aspire on here because they're probably going to kill me for saying this. I think they're sort of falling behind a bit on the front there. However, they have got a couple of things that sort of, I suppose, keep up with their times. They are on the lead with temp sensing, which is again something I'll talk about in a bit. God, this video is going to be quite a long one. I'm 10 minutes in already, and I haven't even covered half of what I was going to talk about. So let's just quickly go through what I'm going to be doing this week. Basically, I'm going to be posting up some video first impression videos on some hardware that I've got hold of. I'm a big fan of sub tanks. I'm a big fan of drippers. Big fan of rebuildable tanks. Big fan of anything to do with vaping. Really, I'm happy to give it a go. But there are some products that I've basically been purchased myself over the last couple of weeks that really have stood out from the crowd. So I'll talk about where I first started off. So I started vaping 18 months ago. Basically, I play ice hockey with a guy there, and he basically said, "Have a go on this." Had a go on it, and it was a Nautilus with a actually, no, so it wasn't Nautilus. It was actually an iClear 30, basically loaded on an MVP. And I had a go on it, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm actually getting a throat hit. I'm actually feeling this like sort of the same sensation as smoking." I can't remember what flavour he had at the time, but yeah, it was a strawberry. It was a strawberry flavour, and it was nice. It was low. I think he was using 6 mg nicotine. I mean, I currently vape 3 to 6 mg at the moment, but I started off on 24 actually for about a week, and then got a bit dizzy and stuff like that, and then went on to 18. Was on 18 for about 6 months, dropped down to 12 for 6 months, and then basically dropped down to 6 quite quickly after that. And now I say I'm on between 3 and 6, depending on what I'm vaping and sort of like what equipment I'm using. So yeah, I mean, it's I think I said that's just my progression through vaping. Started off on. I can't give advice for legal reasons and whatever, but as I said, I haven't touched a cigarette in 18 months, and I feel great. I've managed to grow a beard. I can grow a beard literally within 2 hours. I'm actually known by a couple of vendors as the bearded twat, because I always seem to get my hands on a few items before they do. It just happens that I live down the road from the guy who actually runs his group. So yeah, unlucky guys. I live here, you don't. Anyway, so yeah, I started off. I went out and went for full shebang. Went into a shop called Vapor Hut, which is a shop where we supply around the area. It's a chain, and basically got myself a. I don't know why, I had a bit of cash at the time and thought, well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm glad I did, to be honest, because I think because I spent 100 quid on my first setup. Because I spent that much money, I thought there's no way I'm going to regret this and go near a cigarette. So basically smoked, I think it was half a cigarette, loaded up the tank. It was an orange and mint and lemon mix. No, sorry, it was a menthol and orange mix. And then basically I ended up starting playing around with flavors myself a bit and turn it into something else. But yeah, I've still got the unit because I kept it as a bit of a trophy. It's still working sort of. It's the iTaste VTR. They were retailing about, I think, about 75 quid or something, or 80 quid with the tank. Unfortunately, threading on that, I can't even get the extension tube undone there. And basically, yeah, so I'll vape on this first. Just check it's right. Yep. So this is variable voltage, the variable wattage, which is something that if people ask me what device you go for, I generally say if you want to quit smoking, don't go for an ego. You want to be going for something with variable voltage if possible. It just gives you that bit more kick. That's all I can say. You can just adjust it to how you want it. Yeah, so I'm running a Mini Pro Tank 3 on here that I've added in an airflow adapter onto it. We use these for testing flavours and stuff, but great. When it works. Probably pretty embarrassing actually. if I can get this to work. Saying I'm some sort of expert, I can't even get a well, a simple device, but it's a bit. Oh, yeah, it's reading the wrong ohms because I say the connection's not great. Let's turn it on to voltage. Let's fire it again. Oh, I'm pushing the wrong button. It's been that while since I've used it right. So 5 volts. So yeah, it's a nice vape. Stealthy. Mini Pro tank, freeze. I rate as being great little tanks. I mean, we use them for testers. We use Aspire BDC tanks as well for testers. The Aspire coils, in particular, the BDC coils. The BDC coils are good. BDC coils, which have got the sort of the vertical, sorry, it's like a bit of mesh in the top. You can see the difference. Made a massive difference. They are good tanks, and certainly if someone comes up to me and says, "Well, what tank would you recommend?" Sort of for a good sort of I wouldn't say starter tank, but certainly something that I can sort of adjust how I want. If you're going to get a variable wattage device, variable voltage device, get yourself something like a mini Nautilus, BBC coils in there, adjustable airflow. You can just make that vape the way you want it, and it will. Sort of I've still got this and I've still run this. I've got temperature sensing coil in there at the moment, but I still use it all the time, so very good. So yeah, so anyway, let's get on to a bit more of the sort of stuff that you're going to be seeing from me this week. Yes, I like my drippers. I like my mods. Now, I first started off Nex, basically learning how to build. If you don't know what one of these is and you want to build, then learn what one of these is. Learn about Ohm's law. Speak to experts in the shop. Ask them about coil building. Or online on the boards here, anyone will be more than happy to help. It's the only way you're gonna learn about it. You need to be sort of like basically showing to do it, or basically advise on how to do it. This could save your life. I mean, I know people that have, you see these scare stories in the news and all that sort of stuff. I doubt whether these guys even know what ohms is. So yeah, basically every time you're building, if you're going to go down rebuildable routes, which you don't have to, but a lot of people decide to do it, and it's one of those things that becomes quite addictive itself. You want to be getting yourself an ohms meter, and again, I'm happy to talk about that if someone wants me to. I'll post up a video on that, but I'm sure there'll be loads of people here that sort of like know that anyway. So yeah, I mean, I started off with Still Air, was the first dripper I got. Still got it here. So yeah, let's have a quick vape on that. So Still Air's a great dripper to start off with, and that's a Count mod. So it's actually an authentic mod. I've got no problem with using clones whatsoever. I bought loads of stuff from Fastech. Some stuff's good, some stuff is in the bin. That's it. That's what it comes down to. At the end of the day, it's hit and miss. But in fact, the Still Airs from Fastech, and it's it's a good clone that anyway. So yeah, that's the first mod I started off with. And then I still use mech mods now. I mean, Manhattan, probably the hardest hitting mod I've got. This is a clone. It needs a bit of TLC, to be honest. I should clean it up a bit more, but it is a hard hitting mod. Yeah, I mean, I've had people come up to me and say, "Oh, it's because you're using one of these sort of like £200 regulated mods. That's how you're getting the cars like that." It's not. It's not about that at all. It's about your builds. It's about your wicking. It's about the batteries you use. It's about the actual mods themselves, the conductivity of them. This building here is a bit naughty. I won't say what ohms that is, but it is a bit naughty. It's not. It's not cloud competition naughty. I mean, there's a guy. I don't know if he's on the group yet, but Steve Dorrington, yeah, he does a lot of very naughty builds. But yeah, as I said, sort of like don't go out sort of like straight away and jump into a shop and go, right, I want the biggest clouds ever, and build yourself a 0.02 ohm coil or whatever, because it won't end well. You've probably heard about something called battery venting. Again, I'm not going to go into that now, but just keep it safe. I said, anyone who doesn't know much about sort of battery safety or mech mods and all that sort of stuff, then just ask away. People will get back to you on this and answer. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to jump straight into what I'm going to be doing a little mini sort of reviews this week. I'm basically just do first impressions because I've only had them for a few days, but I said I do use a lot of sub-ohm tanks, so I know which ones sort of stand out pretty much straight away. And also the regulated mods as well. I use them all the time. So yep, let's bang on to first one, IPV3 LI. So I've upgraded it to 200 watts. I'm using it at the moment. I've used it up to about 150. Seems to be hit harder than the IPV3, which is I don't know why. Maybe they have changed. I know there's different chipsets in it. It's the SX 330 SL chip. Obviously, it's got the temp sensor on there. I've not really tested that out yet. The major sort of difference between this, I'll just go over this very, very quickly, is basically the where is it? Which side is it? It's that smooth actually. I'm trying to find the thing. Okay, yep. So we've got. Yep. Right. So goodbye screws. That is a welcome thing. The screw back on them. I mean, Sigali 150 I got, and I was using it now and again, but I take that one out and about with me because changing screws used to be carrying a screwdriver and Allen key around with you. So yeah, magnetic back to it, really good. Better fire button. Touch sensor works on it. That could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I have my touch sensor off because I have fired it at 150 watts just as about to put it in my pocket, so personally I have it off. And what else about it? What else have they changed on it as well? Screen seems to do it better. Oh, it stores your memory banks on there, so it stores your basically your 5 different memory settings for the wattage mode. Now, it's very power mode. Now, if you run it in temp sensor mode, I have not tried that yet because I have heard someone say that it doesn't store them there. But it's a welcome addition that, because every time I change the batteries, I was having to sort of like change all my sort of my different settings, and it was just a bit of a pain really. But yeah, so that I'll be doing some more thingy on. Sorry, so more talking on. On top of that is the Uwell crown tank. So yeah, the Uwell crown tank. Basically, again, another particularly nice sub-ohm tank. Okay, so I had to take it into put it into a second part there. Unfortunately, my laptop, and that's actually what the noise is there. The fan is going mental. I decided to take my laptop to pieces and hoover inside, and when I put it back together, I was missing a screw. That pretty much sums me up. I like to tinker with things, and yeah. So anyway, up to the Uwell crown tank. It's another tank that I'll be doing. Focus. Hello, where are you? Up there. That's it. Okay, so Uwell crown tank. It's another one new out on the market. I've managed to get the dual coil version, which was the one I was waiting for. It's top fill. Basically, I'm running this now at 100 watts, and run it with, as I said before, some Paul Curtis's revolve and custard, the higher VG stuff, and let's take a vape on this. Airflow fully open on that. It is a warm vape. It's a very flavourful vape. If you like warm vapes, then I'd highly recommend it. So the next one I'm going to go on to is the Herakles. A lot of you guys would have used the likes of. I mean, well, I've got Arctics, I've got Magenuses. The Herakles for me is a tank that suits me perfectly. The airflow on it I find better than than any other tank out there at the moment. I'm running this at, in fact I'm going to run it a bit higher. And this is another mod I'll be talking about as well. This is a custom mod that I got. Again, I paid for. Went out on a bit of a wing with it really. The reason why is because I love my SX Mini M class so much. Basically, just love the power modes on it. 10% in a use. This is running a nickel coil in that, so an I200 coil in it. That's a Limo 2. Works really well with an I200 wire. The flavour is something I'm still sort of like trying to get used to, as people who commented on that, Phil Posado did himself. It just seems different. I can't tell if it's like a cleaner taste, or just a different taste of candle anyway, but I like it. So yeah, so basically going back to this, so this mod here is basically a mod I got hold of myself. I pre-ordered it last Monday, got it on Wednesday, and I have not put it down. It will not leave the house very often because it is my most expensive mod I own. It's basically the dual SX 350J box by Signature Tips, and I have got number 15 out of 40 made, as far as I'm aware, of the first batch. So I'm a very proud owner of this. To say it's one of the first custom boxes I've had, and it is an absolute beast. So let me just crank this to turn this around. So I'm going to set this to. This hits hard. The SX350J chips, if any of you have used them, will know that they do hit hard. They've got buck boost and a few other bits on there. I'm going to run it in just normal mode. Just going to navigate around the menus here. But basically, what buck boost does is it allows you to preheat the coil pretty quick. I mean, it's got eco mode, which I don't really use, standard mode, soft mode, normal mode, and it's got power and power full, well, power FU plus, fuck you plus. What should I swear on this? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. Not vaping with twisted with 420. I'm not gonna start dropping stuff all over the place. Although I tend to do that sometimes. I can't work out why in every video that happens, but it is funny. So yeah, so I'm going to set this to 100 watts. I might have to turn it down a bit because it does hit quite hard this, but yeah, Herakles 100 watts running on standard mode. Now this is an instant, this is basically a series box. Okay, so yeah, some people could argue that it's not a true series box because it's not, sort of, it is regulated, but I'm telling you now, these chips are a beast. So here we go. So 100 watts, running at standard power. So I mean, the good thing about all these coils, and again, I'll be talking about that in other videos. I'll probably do sub-ohm tanks in one, mods in another, and sort of do it that way. But these new coils can keep up with high VG. I've had 100% VG running in this, quack juice in fact, and no problem at all running at 80 watts. So yeah, they can take it. They can take the power there as well. And they work really well with our cloud juice as well. Another reference there. I will not do that again. Right, anyway, yeah, I mean, I've got a few different mods here that I'll be sort of talking a bit about. Vaporshark version 2.1, I got a vape jam. Love it, nice and portable device. And basically, yeah, I've got here a custom bell cap I got from. I will mention vendors because I think some vendors are worth mentioning. A guy called Paul who runs Puff Daddy e-cigs. Got that from him. Got the Vaporshark from Vaporshark, but I got a few other bits from him as well. And yeah, basically love it. Again, that's a 10% in coil pre-built by Vaporshark. So that's one. Another one. And trying to think if there's any other teasers I can give you. Let me think. So we've talked about the Herakles, we've talked about the Uwell dual coil version because there is the single coil version. I've gone straight for the dual. And let me think. And then basically, yeah, the IPV4 sorry, IPV3 LI and the SX dual box I'll be talking about. There's a lot of other mods coming out. I'm hopefully going to be getting hold of a couple. I might twist a couple of people's arms and see if I can, yeah, get on with them and sort of do some reviews. But I pay for everything myself. I don't get given anything for free, unfortunately. I might take a leaf out of well, dare I say it, actually, because I might get some sort of comeback, but you know who I mean. The guy who's just crazy, who, yeah, literally, yeah, what is it? Holy moly, that's all I'm saying. Anyway, rechargeable wise, another one of my favourites, Smock M80, really good, solid rechargeable unit. I take this out with me. I've got it in my car all the time. If anything goes wrong, you know, for some reason my batteries, well, my mods all decide to die, we get an EMP pulse from wherever. We're going to be fucked anyway, but hopefully silicon case on this makes a big difference as well. It just feels great. And I run just a standard, I'm running a twisted build Limo on this, 44 watts. So as I mentioned before, I'm into my rebuildables, drippers. Actually, one thing I will show you, actually, we'll end on this. So, drippers, I've not shown any drippers yet. Okay. My favourite drip at the moment, I've got quite a few that I mean, I've got a collection of about 30 to be honest. I've sort of settled on a few that I really like. Two in particular that are my favourites are the, okay, not many of you might have heard of this one, but it's the Samurai. This is actually a clone, but I would actually buy an original of this. Basically, it's not the newest version, which I think they've shortened it down. This is the original Samurai. I'm going to put it on here. And what you've got on this stripper is what most of the newer designs have, adjustable airflow through the coils at the bottom. In fact, to take the top off so you can have a look. I don't want to tilt it too much, so I've just filled it, but okay, so if you can see that, you got to see that little slot there. Basically got airflow coming underneath each coil on either side, and then on top of that, so that's fully adjustable, and on top of that, what you've actually got with this is basically you can, there's a, if I can just turn that round, that's closed off fully, but if I actually turn that round and open it up, you've actually got Cyclops going to the coil as well. Now watch the difference in vape with this. So basically you can have the best of both worlds. You can have your flavour by closing off the Cyclops, you know, if you want really intense flavour. 100 watts might be a bit too powerful, and I'm just going to knock that down a bit. I tend to run things generally about 70 watts to start, because that's generally what a freshly charged 4.2 volt battery will be delivering. So, and it'll show me on here, just change the, I'm still getting used to the settings on this one. That's the thing, that the more complex they get, the sort of like generally the harder the settings are to navigate, and it does take a while sort of switching between mods to get used to them. But right, okay, so it's a 0.4 ohm coil, and that's going to be firing at 5.35 watts. So I'm just going to knock it down a bit more. What I generally do is just adjust it so that it's actually going to be outputting at around 4.2 volts as a starting value, and I generally adjust it there. Okay, 45 watts there. So okay, let's go. So this is with the airflow, the Cyclops close, the the airflow under the coil. I don't know what's that technically called, but that the bottom airflow fully open. And that's, I've got in there, I've got elements in there, so I'm getting a, you know, a nice bit of flavour. Now I'm actually going to ramp this up a bit. I'm going to turn it up to, actually no, I'll leave it the same. I'll leave it the same so you can see the difference. So now I'm going to open up the Cyclops on it fully, and I'm going to turn it to a cloud dripper. So yeah, so as you can see there, there's you can have a lot of fun with these. Like you can basically turn that dripper into whatever you want, whether you want flavour or you want your clouds. I mean, flavour drippers, Origin, beautiful dripper, Vertex, I think, Hobo, what else have we got as well? I'm trying to think what I use quite frequently. Magma, also, yeah, the Magma. The Magma is a great little flavour dripper to start with. But anyway, I'm going to move very quickly on to the Mutation XV4, which is another dripper that I'll definitely be doing a little mention on. And this one is again fully adjustable. We've got the same system as the Samurai, basically a fully adjustable bottom airflow feed, and then you've got Cyclops, but there's a lot more airflow that comes through with this, so this really can be boosted up. So I'm going to turn this up to 100 watts, and yeah. So we go on this. So this has got our cloud custard in. Let's go. So yeah, I could turn it up a lot higher, and I will be doing in another video when I my first impressions review of the box and the dripper. What we'll do is run the dripper on a couple of different devices. As I said, for me at the moment, I've actually just sold off a couple of my. I mean, one of those hoarders. I literally don't like parting with things. I've still got a Valmo here, and I've got a few other bits and pieces. Cigarly. We've even got a Cloud Mini as well. I don't know why. I don't use it, but it's just there. So yeah, I might give a free giveaway on that one. Just don't charge it using USB. We all know why. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, generally, so I've got. I mean, my go-tos at the moment. I'm trying to shorten it down as much as possible, but basically IPV3 LI, Vapor Shark, RDNA 40, SX Mini M class with a custom wrap on there. Underneath it's the black one. I've not had the paint issue with mine, but I've gone with the colours of a certain company on that one. And let me think, what else as well. And the latest addition is this special little thing here. So yeah, I'll be talking about all of them in the next few videos. And mech mods, I still love my mech mods. My Celt mods are one of my favourite ones. This is running 18500 mode at the moment, but yeah, you can run it in 18650. I've got that tube there as well, and I've taken my Manhattan everywhere with me because I said I do get told, you know, so are you cheating? Are you using this, using that? Am I? Well, you make up your own minds. So yeah, that's it, and that's a nearly a half an hour video. I'm gonna have to edit this, put two videos together. I'm sorry for the juddering and the out sync there. It's my computer trying to keep up with basically the fact that I've removed probably the half the fan and half the heat sink in it when I opened up. But yeah, sign off, guys. Just want to say hello to you all, and yep, and look forward to speaking to you on here. And as I said, anytime anyone's got any questions at all, give me a shout. I'm available pretty much 24/7. That's the hours I work. I actually set off for London at 12 o'clock this afternoon. Got stuck on the M6. Got back at 4 o'clock in the morning. Still up working away. Well, when I say working away, I'm enjoying myself at the moment. I'll be back into work in about 3 hours time, so I might get an hour's kip if I'm lucky, but we'll see. So anyway, sign off, guys, and nice, and thanks to the ads to the group, and yep, see you all later. And I will be at Vape Expo as well, so keep an eye out for me with this badge. Don't know what it means, but keep an eye out for me. See you later, guys. Sign off.